are we overvaluing and overemphasizing a more traditional type of education when the job market may have changed for everyone? Are we trying to do too much of a one-size-fits-all? And the second is, talk a little bit about what you've done at your institution in terms of freezing, I believe, the tuition rate, which, as we know from all the rallies around the country, is student debt is such a giant millstone for so many young people and is affecting how they think about capitalism as well.
Thank you for leading the witness. I'll take you up on the offer. Well, to the first question, yes, of course. Higher education, as we've known it, it still has its place, and I think if those institutions that make the right changes are likely to still be very highly valued and sought after, and likely to survive and thrive. But the market is calling into existence all kinds of new ways to get to productive life, and Zoe just gave you some great examples, and more power to them. We need more. There are, I think the greatest, a lot of people fasten on the technological threats to higher education, the opportunity to acquire it remotely and take advantage of the new technologies, and that's real, and that's going to grow. I think the greater threat, but it's an opportunity for society, is alternative certifications of various kinds. And more and more employers, including big ones you've heard of, are saying, we don't care where you went to school because we don't know what that diploma means anymore. Everybody gets an A at that school. And the diploma...
Except at Purdue, I'm sure. Except at yours.
Except at Purdue. We still have one of the lowest average GPAs, and it's not because our kids aren't bright. That's a different subject. But anyway, I think that to some extent higher ed has brought this on itself by not delivering unimpeachable value. I sometimes say to business audiences, now look, here's the business you really wanted to go into. You're selling something seen as a necessity, got to have that diploma. And there's no measurement of quality. Nobody can tell whether the student at school A learned more grew more, is more prepared than the student at school B. And there's total pricing power. You not only don't, when you raise the tuition, you not only don't lose customers, you gain customers, because in the absence of any other evidence, people go, oh, a higher sticker price. I always said, who gets to do business that way? My wife said, well, Tiffany's. Okay, there's one, but I mean, right? And
you just need a little blue box and go with your diploma.
So anyway, that game's up. 1.3 trillion of student debt sort of is called that game for what it is. And so now there are rightful demands to prove value and rightful demands to deliver it. The basic equation of life is quality divided by cost. And so we're working on both ends. And just to be very brief about the commercial, thank you again for the chance. We froze tuition at Purdue the year I got there. It's still frozen at that level, and it will be for the next 2 years, so that's 5 total. It's actually less expensive to go to our school now because we cut the cost of room, board, and books. And yet we've invested heavily in faculty and research and quality and in the measurement of how much our students are growing. And I guess just want to tell you this one little anecdote. When I first suggested that, saying, listen, I said to those folks, look, I just landed from Mars. But back on Mars, people were upset about the cost of college. And I think we ought to, make some kind of statement that we hear and that we're going to try to work a little harder on this. So there was one set of folks that, oh my gosh, we'll go broke and turn out the lights. And I said, I don't think we could scrape by. But the more interesting reaction was the enrollment people who said, oh gee, if we do that and we don't raise our price while all our competitors do, people will think we don't have confidence in the product. Wow. And I said, is that how you think? People think. And so anyway, to end it, the story, this spring we had, for the 3rd year in a row, record in applications, record everything, and the same enrollment people, I said, great, what drove it? And they said, our reputation for caring about cost. So that's the story from our end, but I do think that the market will continue to call into existence all sorts of new providers and new ways of certifying that somebody's ready for work, and none too soon.